you are more valuable than all the churches and mosques and synagogues and temples that have ever been built. Because any architect can put that together, but there ain't one architect on the earth who could put this together. Yeah. As black people in this country, we were not brought to America, brothers and sisters, to be made equal. We were brought here to be the burden bearers of the whites of this nation. They put us mentally in a condition that represented perpetual slavery. One white legislator in the Virginia House of Delegates in 1700s said that they had, for all practical purposes, extinguished every avenue by which light could enter the mind of the slave. Even though the core of our very being is the light and the intelligence of God, that intelligence must be fed by truth in order for man to grow into oneness with God. You listening? But when you take the human being and lie to it, then you start killing the power of God in the human being. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that this brain is the most underdeveloped and undiscovered thing in the universe. It is not Africa that is underdeveloped. It is not the universe that is unexplored. It is the self that is unexplored. This magnificent thing called brain, billions of brain cells made up of water. Allah says in the Quran that his throne is on water, and out of water he brings every living thing. So he gives the man, the human being, a brain composed of water. And that is the throne of God, where if God sits there, his wisdom there, God will manifest through human beings. Dear Muslims, dear Christians, dear Jews, look at your houses of worship. How you honor and respect the Wailing Wall, which is the last residue of Solomon's temple. And I have been there to Jerusalem, and I have been to the Wailing Wall, and I see Jews standing in front of the Wailing Wall with a backward and forward motion, saying their prayers at the ruins of a temple representing the ruins of the Jewish people, hoping that as God would one day restore the temple, that he would restore the Jews to their place. And I go to Mecca and I see the hundreds of thousands of us walking around a black stone called Kaaba. And I see men and women coming to the corner of that stone to kiss the black stone. And as I did what the pilgrims did, I looked at the stone. A golden door on that holy house. But if you open the door and go in the house, it is called Al-Bayt Allah, the house of God. But if you open the door and go in, you won't find God there. But yet men walk around that holy house of stone built by men and rebuilt by Abraham and Ishmael. Men put stones together, and the pastors organize the church people, and we put stones together and we build a church, and we go in with silence and reverence. Shh, shh, shh. We're in church now. Be careful. Quiet. Don't curse. Don't make that noise now. We're in church. And some of the pastors will get so holy that a human being will go to put his foot up on the altar. He said, "No, stand down. This is the sacred place. Stand down." Beautiful mosques, ornate. I went to St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Lord have mercy, I never saw more gold in a house in my life. Gold on the walls everywhere. Magnificent structure. The Al-Haram, the mosque in Mecca, golden crescent on the minarets. Beautiful building costing millions and millions of dollars. But not one of these buildings is more precious than one of you. I want you to listen to me good, because no building built by the hands of man is equal to this house built by the wisdom of God. And if we can be tender and reverent in a church building, in a mosque, and in a synagogue, or at the Wailing Wall, how much more reverent should we be in the presence of one another? Are you listening? Are you really listening? You are more valuable than all the churches and mosques and synagogues and temples that have ever been built. Because any architect can put that together, but there ain't one architect on the earth who could put this together. Yeah. But yet, we have more respect for what the hands of men have built than for what the hands of God has created. And so we disrespect each other. We abuse our children. We abuse our women, and then come to church. We lie, steal, and rob from human beings and go to the masjid. To my prayer. Boy, sickening. Sickening. We are a mockery of God. And unless somebody takes the courage, man, to talk like this, unless somebody don't care nothing about being your friend, unless you are the friend of truth, unless somebody is willing to die for truth's sake, that human beings can go free of the madness, then we will remain in this death-like state.